Hello, it's Heather here with Underwater Panther, and I am wanting to go over Sagittarius. I don't think there are tons and tons of pine cones. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah, I'm gonna try not to trip and die with my sparkly shoes on. Woohoo! Anyways, this is kind of like a spare of the moment type of thing, so I'm going to be kind of off script. I've got my notes in front of me, but I just wanted to talk about Sagittarius since we have a Sagittarius moon right now. So at first I want to explain what the ego is. I'm going to put these on, to be honest. Okay. Oh, we're still rolling. Okay, so hopefully I don't get poison ivy. Alright, so the ego is our order function when it is awake. It is self-aware, our ego. When our ego is asleep, we are egotistical. And when awake, we are in goodwill. Oh man, there's a bunch of horse nettles. Eek, eek. Okay, so I'm gonna do this for a minute. Get some sunshine in my life. Okay, so our ego is our personality's boss, who we are becoming and how we act. So we say the ego is considered our actions, how we're going to act, and it is our drive and character, and our ego is only 10% of our conscious awareness. So we are only 10% aware, is what they say. So the sun side guides our personality, characters, essential qualities, and actions in skill development, professional career, competition, all forms of social interactions, the ego, and creativity, and logic as well. So the ego or sun is the conscious part of your personality where your common sense and reasoning lives. It allows you to organize your thoughts and use them to make judgments on the external world. So the ego is our sun sign, or our uniqueness and potential mastery. The sun represents our approach and overall nature in this life. We identify with it strongly and have the potential to live consciously through it by personal and spiritual growth. This is our strongest, when healthy, domain of our mind. I just went through a whole bunch of horse needles, and yeah, that's why I'm like out of breath. So the ego doesn't develop until the child realizes he or she is more than their mother, father, or guardian, which is after infancy, so like 1 year old. Prior to that, they're functioning in their id or animal nature. So our ego is here to protect us, our ego or our sun sign. So when we say ego, we're talking psychologically, and then our sun sign astrologically. So it is our flow state, and it is here to protect us. Consciousness itself is order, and we are conscious because of the ego. The ego creates order. So our sun sign or ego's main priorities: number 1, control. The ego has the job of controlling and regulating instinctive impulses. Adaptation. The ego relates to the external and internal realities and tries to adapt to them. And then 3, integration. This refers to the ability of the ego to integrate the different aspects of ourselves in our lives. So the ego or sun sign consists of the hero, parent, child, and inferior cognitive functions. And that is what I am breaking down here on my channel. I call it Astro-Psychology. I don't know anyone else doing what I'm doing, so I will probably be ticking off both astrologers and psychologists. So that's super exciting. Yeah, I don't really have anyone to bounce my ideas off of, so I'm kind of like on my own here. But that's okay. I'm an Aries rising. That's what I'm here for. So, so the hero child, or the hero parent child and inferior cognitive functions is what makes up our ego, or sun sign, astro-psychologically. So the ego is actually positive and consciously ran for the most part. Not only does it make us conscious, but it allows us to protect our well-being and allows us to create healthy boundaries. So it starts getting more difficult to navigate consciously when we reach the inferior cognitive function, which is the gateway to the subconscious mind. Because it is the gateway, I do not pin our ego as our enemy. So Western society has completely made our egos into, like our enemy. So I like to say our ego is not our enemy. Western culture actually highly gets into ego, is based on ego, and I have tied in Eastern philosophies with my Western, and I like to look at everything in a more spiritual, more in depth. Like our ego is our sun sign. I consider our subconscious, our moon sign, our subconscious, and then the unconscious is our Mars and Saturn within our birth charts astrologically. And then the super ego would be our rising sign. So I have completely taken the four sides of the mind and wrapped it into astrology with the ego, subconscious, unconscious, and super ego. So my neighbor's probably like, what is this person doing? Yeah, so that's the basics of our ego. Woo! Oh my gosh, that scared me. I scared a bird. I'm walking in places I don't normally. Okay, so I want to go over Sagittarius, and I want to go over the Sagittarius ego. I have not written my book on Sagittarius, but I do have it outlined. So I am going to be using my notes, and eventually I am going to write the book. So it's going to be a while. It's kind of lower on my list. I need to do Capricorn and Cancer first, I believe. I think those are very important to understand the femininity within us. So anyway, Sagittarius, ego. So we normally start with the house system because the personality types were based on the house system, numerology. So the ninth house encompasses Sagittarius. So this is what Sagittarius is good at. This is what they are focused on. It's just really how they act, who they are, what they are concerned about. And so the ninth house is the house of mental exploration and long distance travel, higher education, higher mind, education in general. So that's internally and externally. So the wisdom, knowledge, reasoning, philosophy, science, occult, mysticism, astrology, teaching, going through experiences in general. The ninth house represents the ties, meanings, and reasonings to things. So this makes Sagittariuses have a broad perspective on their own thoughts and feelings, as well as others. They like to travel to foreign lands. The ninth house represents business in foreign lands, studying other languages. So they are very culturalistic. They love to explore. They love to go on trips. It's definitely a thing. They just want to experience different cultures, different food, different sites. So they have extroverted sensing hero. I believe, no, it's the parent. They have introverted thinking hero, but the SE is in their parent cognitive slot. So this means that they are all about experiencing anything that stimulates their senses, their five senses. So they have a lot of physical body energy, and they love to just have new experiences. They love traveling, driving, talking. They can definitely talk and work at the same time. They are very good at multitasking, and their mental energy with the introverted thinking hero, I mean, they are so quick-witted. It is amazing. I'll get into all this, but I'm getting sidetracked. So anyways, let's finish the ninth house first. So, it's the ninth house represents business in foreign lands, studying other languages, public expression of ideas, publishing, and literary effort. Okay, so they don't like to show a form of schedule or repetition of a pattern. So they do have freedom. It's like the fiery Sagittarius is like a workhorse. Fiery horse, tornado. They have a ton of muscular strength, especially in the legs. They probably have bigger thighs. They're very strong. They love to kick, they love to run, they love to be on the go. It's almost like having too much horsepower for their body. It's hilarious. But they definitely can have high endurance with their physical energy and mental. Like their mental, they know they're smart and they're quick-witted and they can definitely get away with a lot. They don't like it when you attach them to something. So it's mostly in the mind. They're always trying to switch things up, and that has to do with schedule, routine, or anything of the physicality, or even they're very open-minded with, learning cultures and religions and spirituality. They don't want to be put in a box, so to speak. They definitely have mental and physical freedom issues. They are like Aquarius in that sense, because both Aquarius and Sagittarius want to show the complete opposite of what others are doing. So they're very individualistic in the way that they think and act. So they just are all about finding new adventures. Relationships can feel like work to them because they don't like to be obligated. So obligation or responsibilities definitely makes them feel tied down. So yeah, it can be an issue. So they don't like having boundaries. They like to push boundaries. That is definitely a thing. Relationally, like in a relationship, friendship, work environment, any kind of environment you can think of, they're going to push the boundaries. They're going to push the rules. They're going to question the rules. They're going to be headstrong about the rules and why we do what we do. They just don't like to be molded. They want to have their freedom in space and thinking. So that is definitely a thing. So they have introverted thinking hero and Jupiter. They are ruled by Jupiter. So they are all about knowledge and wisdom and learning. My dad or brother is coming, so I should probably move. He's probably, what are you doing? Okay, so I keep getting dusted out by the planter, I think. I don't know who it is. I don't know if you can even see the dust. It's dusty out here a little bit. Okay, so I am a farm kid, what can I say? Okay, so they have introverted thinking hero and Jupiter ruling planet. So they are all about knowledge and wisdom and learning and higher purpose and meaning and reasonings. And they're like the types that have so much energy. They don't want to be sitting in a class. They're already 2 years ahead of everyone else intellectually, and they get bored really easily. So they're gonna start pushing boundaries and trying to get out of class and everything else. Like they can be really good students, like Cancer or ENFJs. ENFJs and Sagittarius ISTPs can be very good with government education, just elementary, high school, college, whatever. But Sag, they tend to get bored easily and they can think that they are above education. They're smarter than everyone, they don't need to be there, etc. So, okay, I was interrupted once more. Okay, so they have, Sagittarius has SE parent, extroverted sensing parent. They don't have a, let's see, I forgot my little sheet here. So hero, parent, so right field, exaltation. Okay, so they don't have an exaltation. They're ruled by Jupiter. Mercury is in left field, and we have no fall astrologically. Psychologically, we have TI hero, SE parent, NI child, and FE inferior. So Sagittarius is a fire sign, so, and also mutable in its temperament. Mutable signs come to broader perspectives. So the mutable signs are Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, and Sagittarius. So Virgos are mutable in their thinking and practicality, Gemini in their thinking, analyzing, and communication. Pisces represents the collective conscious, feelings and emotions, and then Sagittarius is fire. Fire represents seeing and feeling, brings light to situation, so fire burns through reality. Introverted thinking, I've noticed. Introverted thinkers, I am one. Introverted thinkers, especially like Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces, let me think. Those come top to mind. Introverted thinkers are very concerned with actual truth and how they themselves think about things. So they will take time on their own in an introverted way to research and understand information on their own. And extroverted thinkers, they are the ones that will go to other people, many other people, and base their thoughts and beliefs on majority rules. In Sagittarius, they are very independent in their thinking. I'm about ready to get swiped again. So they're very demonstrative with their thoughts. They are very brilliant. So fire is actually seeing and feeling. So the seeing represents their own way, their individual way of thinking. And the feeling, they are very expressive about how they feel. They're in the moment. So fire signs live in the moment. They are not in the future. They don't have anxiety about the future, and they are not dwelling on the past. They really truly live in the moment. And so when they feel something like anger, for example, whatever the case may be, they're very expressive about it. They like to express it and get it out of the way, and then they're good. So they throw a little fit, like a temper tantrum, like a toddler, and get it out. It's expressed, and they move on. So they like to see their own feelings and express what they feel and how they see things, and are open and can see others' perspectives broadly. So Sagittarius, they feel like they have the collective conscious on how to see things. So they are very holistic in their thinking with NI and TI. And so this means that they normally have a lot going on inside of their heads. It's like a huge, they see the broader overarching view. They kind of feel like they are outside of Earth, so to speak. Intellectually, they're just above it. I mean, they're so intelligent. Broad perspective, but they also can zoom in on the little details with the extroverted sensing parent. So this means that they are aware of their physical environment. They notice all the details. They are very mechanically inclined. They can work with tools and whatnot and build things. They are the craftsmen. I think I forgot to mention that. But they are the craftsmen, and so they can learn many different trades, so to speak, many different skills, and remember how to do those things. But they can be very scattered. Sagittarius is the fire, but it is the scattered fire. Picture trying to tame a wild horse. They are not going to stay in their pen. They are going to buck against you, and you're going to have problems for sure. So, the Fire is seeing and feeling, so the intuition, passion, imagination, and expressing those things. So Sagittarius is mutable, so they like to see how others think and feel and come to their own conclusions about it. They are right brain dominant, so the internal realm, so that represents dreams, imagination, feeling, and emotions. So they are the right brain, but then you split the brain into the left and right, and then you split the left and right in half again. So they are right brain dominant, that's the creativity, imagination, feelings, emotions, but they are the yang of the right, so the external realm, consciously, they are pushing those things out. So honestly, Sagittarius is the external version of Pisces. I work with 2 Sag and had 2 Supervisor Sag, and I have a daughter, Sagittarius. So I've had a lot of Sagittarius people around me, and it cracks me up because, like, I see myself in them. They have freedom issues. They don't want to be told what to do and say and think. They're very creative. They normally like to wear fancy, maybe not necessarily bright clothes, but just fancy, unique clothes. But yeah, they are very sassy, but also can be very classy. Um, they take the internal imagination dream realm and wants to express it in the external realm. Well, so they often have the flexibility and resilience to accept and withstand the storms of life. So negative aspects, it is said that these signs are less stable and possess neither the single-minded will of the fixed signs or the powerful initiative of the cardinal signs. So mutable signs are adaptable and changeable. They kind of tend to go with the flow more, and so they would go with the flow with the fire, the seeing and feeling. They are open-minded, but I will tell you right now, they are very blunt and direct. So that doesn't mean that they're going to adapt to your way of thinking. They're open to it,